Guys, what would you do if your wife or your girlfriend got pregnant by a child that was not yours? And girls, what would you do if you were raped or impregnated by a complete stranger? Unexpected and unwanted pregnancy could happen to any woman. And so you must ask yourself this question. If this happened to you or your loved ones, would you want abortion to be an option? As a close friend of someone who had to make this very important decision, I have experienced through her the pain of bearing an unwanted child. Abortion has been legal for about 40 years now. However, that doesn't stop anti-abortion legislators to try to pass bills that stop abortion rights. Women who bear an unwanted child go through a lot of mental and physical pain and oftentimes cannot provide the best future for the kid. For the sake of a woman's well-being and to ensure a child with the best future possible, the people of America need to fight for abortions by emailing legislators who are for abortion already, evidence that will help them maintain the legalization of abortion, and emailing legislators who are against abortion on why they should become pro-choice, as well as try to convince normal people in why they should become pro-choice in everyday conversations. So let's start off by talking about why abortion is still an issue today. There are people who are pro-choice and pro-life. People who are pro-choice think that women should have to be able to make the decision on whether or not she wants to keep a child. It should not be up to the government to decide whether abortion should be legal. People who are pro-life believe that abortion kills innocent children and does not give them the chance to live. Nowadays, people are still advocating to legalize abortion as a whole. Part of the pro-life movement's goal is to put abortion back in front of the Supreme Court and return abortion policy making to the power to state. Now, I believe that women should be given a choice on whether or not they want to get an abortion. An unexpected, unwanted pregnancy can be mentally, physically, and emotionally devastating for the woman. And women who do not want to have a baby will seek ways to get rid of it no matter what. Before abortion was legalized, women would get abortion illegally. And oftentimes, they would die because the procedure were done in unsafe manners. According to an online article from Dissent magazine called 40 Years of Legal Abortion in the United States, 1 to 10,000 women die each year when abortion was illegalized. Immediately after abortion was legalized, death and injuries from abortion declined dramatically, and today only a handful of women in the United States die each year from complications of legal abortion. Now, some people might say, why don't you just give up the child for adoption? But this is a problem because the women who are pregnant with the baby for 9 months will build an emotional bond with that baby. And to have that mother give up the child up for adoption will be very emotionally devastating for that mother. And the last thing you want is to have the mother commit suicide from depression. Some might then continue to say, well, why don't you just keep the baby and get rid of yourself of the pain, emotional pain? And the answer to that is simple. If it's really that easy to raise a child, then everyone would be doing it. And this leads to my next point. We all want every child to have the best life possible. And a mother who does not want her child will find will not be able to give the child the love and support he or she needs. Now, anti-abortionists might then say, well, if there's no emotional attachment there, then adoption shouldn't be a problem. But the problem here is the child will grow up living his or her whole life without knowing what it feels like to live with his or her biological parents. Also, a mother who is financially unstable will have trouble supporting her child. The kid might not be able to go to school and may be stressed about financial problems that he or she will not be able to get the proper education needed for a bright future. So here's an example of how much it costs for to raise a child for 17 years. As you can see, it costs about $235,000 to raise a child for 17 years, which is a lot, and this doesn't include the expenses needed for yourself. Now that you have become aware of the problem with abortion, let's talk about what we can do to maintain the legal abortions. As pro-choice advocates who care about the well-being of a woman and her child, you need to start taking action. So one of the options by emailing legislators who are for and against abortion. So you have to remember that when you are emailing legislators who are against abortion, it's very hard to fully convince them to become pro-choice. That's because they already have their ideas on the reasons for why they want to be pro-life supporters. But the more people that email the legislators on why they should become pro-choice, the more the legislators will come to see that the reasoning behind pro-choice advocates. Also, if enough people email them, supporting abortion, then anti-abortion legislators might start to realize that the number of people who are going pro-choice are growing bigger at the moment, and they might start to give up on trying to pass anti-abortion bills. The second step is also to email legislators who are already for abortion. By telling them that you support abortion, you might be able to give them a reason that they can use when they're trying to convince other people on why they should support abortion as well. And also, it's nice for the legislators to know that they have a lot of supporters. And lastly, spread the word. If you're having a conversation with a normal person, just simply bring up abortion and find out if they're pro-choice or pro-life. If they're pro-life, try to convince them why they should become pro-choice. And the more people that you're able to convince, the more people you have to spread word to other people about becoming for abortion. And also, this is good when it comes to voting, because if you have people who support more people who support pro-choice, then the bills against abortion will not be able to pass. So now that you know why abortion is still brought up today, and know what you must do to keep abortion legal, let's review what we just talked about. So people have been fighting for and against abortion for many years. And although abortion is legal right now, anti-abortionists are still pushing to limit the right to have an abortion. The longer the mother is pregnant with her baby, the stronger her emotional bond will be with her child. And if the mother wants to keep the baby, then this is good. But what happens when the mother isn't financially stable enough to support her baby? Then abortion should be an option here, because the mother simply does not have what it takes to raise a child. If the mother does not want the child to begin with, then she will not provide the love and support the child needs. Adoptive parents will never be able to provide the same kind of bond that biological parents can provide. And this is why abortion must continue to be legalized. This is where you need to take a part in talking to legislators on how you feel about abortion rights. And this is where you must help spread the word to other people and convince them to vote when a bill against abortion gets brought up. Remember, being pregnant can happen to you or anyone around you, so decide whether or not you want to have abortion as an option. Besides, if you can't trust a woman with her choice, how can you trust her with a child? And here are papers of lists of emails that the people who want to email legislators who are for abortion, and people for legislators who want to email for against abortion. Thank you for listening.